Hello, Walla Walla Valley. I am here with Dan Riener, owner of American Air Heating and Cooling. Dan, can you tell us a little bit about your company and how American Air Heating and Cooling got started?
Yeah, absolutely. So first off, I am a Walla Walla native. I was born and raised in Walla Walla. I attended everything from Mustard Seed Preschool to Prospect Point Elementary, Garrison Middle School, and Walla Walla High School. I had moved away in high school, and that took me over to Idaho, which is where I had started my HVAC career. Once I graduated high school over there, started doing HVAC, and then ended up moving back here. My wife is from the area. Moved back when we were 24. I had worked for a company for a couple years here in Walla Walla. I was really borderline starting a company when we had moved back originally, but I thought I'd fill the waters out a little bit and wanted to work for a company for a couple years. And once the time was right, I decided to go out on my own, and I started with a few $1,000s in my bank account and started out of a 2-car garage with minimal tools, used my personal truck, and got things off the ground pretty quickly. Within a year, we were into a storefront property up here on Isaacs, started gaining traction, gaining ground. It was pretty tough initially to get off the ground. There was a lot of work, a lot of 7-day work weeks, 80 hours a week to initially gain that traction, but I was able to do it pretty quickly, and it's been good so far. But yeah, that's basically how it got started. Really just a homegrown business that was started out of a garage and with minimal startup resources.
Okay, and how long ago did you start your business?
So this month, September of 2015, so I think it was mid-September, so we're right at about 4 years, our 4-year anniversary.
How did you come up with the name American Air?
So I've always been a pretty patriotic person. The name to American Air just kind of flows off the tongue nicely. I didn't want to name it I didn't want to put my last name into it. I want it to be more of a company organization. So sometimes just having, Riener's Heating and Cooling, it didn't appear as professional to me as American Air. So that's really how I came up with the name. And then the logo was really the cool thing. So my brother-in-law, when I got started, or initially started talking about starting the company, he turned me on to 99 Designs, and it's an online website. And what it is you give a bunch of freelance drafters, web designers, the parameters of the logo and what you kind of want it to look like, the name obviously, and they started drafting ideas. And so I had a pool of about 50 different designs, and I narrowed it down to about 10 and had them work with some of them. And what I ended up doing is took about 5, and a lot of people probably watching this interview are going to remember just 4 years ago, a lot of my friends and family, they're going to watch this video, they're going to remember voting on the logo just 4 years ago. It seemed like it flew by, but so I did a Facebook poll, and the actual logo that I liked and that I was in love with got 2 votes, and the rest, the one that we have now, the American Air logo, everybody voted for it. So that was kind of one of the first. That was the first thing in business that was kind of a lesson that you want to listen to outsiders and take good public feedback, and started with the logo, and I listened to them, and that's how we came up with the name and the logo. Okay,
and what exactly does this company do?
So we mainly specialize in residential, light commercial sales, service, and installation. That's a broad spectrum. That can be anything from a gas fireplace to gas lines to residential furnaces, air conditioners, heat pumps, ductless mini splits, maintenance, service, maintenance plans. So primarily residential and light commercial sales, service, and installation.
Okay, and why HVAC?
So it's kind of had to do with a little bit of fate, I think. I haven't told very many people this. Why HVAC? How did I get into HVAC? I was actually going to college. I did 1 year of information systems. So that's computer networking, IT support. So I kind of, out of high school, had envisioned that I was going to go work in kind of an office environment. And I had worked harvest jobs and I had worked, physical labor jobs. But what had happened is that after that first year in information systems, my dad got diagnosed with stage 4 liver cancer. And so sometimes I think in life when you have a traumatic event like that, he was given about 6 to 8 months to live. So I kind of had a shift of how I kind of perceived life. And I wanted to, it was almost like I wanted to kind of honor him in a sense. And I wanted to work with my hands, and I wanted to work in kind of a blue collar environment. I didn't want to be in that kind of office setting. So my cousin, I was going to Lewis Clark State College at the time, had a HVAC company in Lewiston. So I didn't enroll in my second year of college, and I started working for him, and kind of the course took its path. That's kind of how I got into HVAC. It was a little bit of fate, and I don't know if I would be here today if possibly my dad never would have got sick in the first place. I mean, it could have been a totally different path. So kind of a cool story, a little bit, and there's some sadness to it, but ultimately I'm here today because of that life event.
Okay. And what is it about the Walla Walla community that you like?
It's got the small town feel, yet it's large enough that you can still have your privacy. I enjoy the fact that I can go around town and still see people that I went to elementary school with, bump into them at the grocery store, and the weather is awesome. We get 4 strong seasons. We get a strong spring, strong summer, strong fall, and we get a really strong winter. So it's a great place, small town feel. That's it.
And how do you want a customer to feel after we have been in their home?
So I want customers to feel impressed. I want them to have a sense of security, knowing that they're going to be taken care of. And I really truthfully mean that. I want them to be able to just feel that, wow, this company's got me covered. I can trust them. I never want a customer to feel that they have been taken advantage of or that we took them to the cleaners. And for anybody who's going to watch this interview, if you ever were to feel like that, call me, contact me, because that is the last thing that we would ever want a customer to feel. So bottom line, I want people to feel impressed with us.
Okay. And what do you like to do when you're not working?
Well, all the people that know me know that I love to work. I really do. I love coming to work. I love interacting with people. I love interacting with my employees. So I enjoy what I do. I'd say when I'm not working, I enjoy being with friends and family. I enjoy entertaining. I do hunt during the fall coming up here. I like to get away and disconnect from technology. But mainly just spending time with friends and family and laughing and living.
What are your goals for the company?
I have quite a few goals for the company. One of my main goals is to build this to be a self-sustaining company. I realize that that's going to take a lot of key individuals in the company, which this kind of ties into with a self-sustaining company, but I have high hopes for my employees, and I want my employees, as I do well and this company succeeds and this company moves on and gets to the level that I want it to get to, I want my employees to come along for the ride. Part of me being a millennial, I understand that, and that is the new workforce, is the millennial. So I want my employees to make a good living. I want them to be secure. I want them to be happy at work. I never want them to have to come to work dreading coming to work. I want them to retire extremely comfortable at a decent age. I want all of that. So that's one of my main goals, though.
Great. And how did you feel about winning the Best of the Best 2019?
That was kind of a shocker. I was honored, honestly. In a short amount of time, we've been in business for 4 years. We do a good job of networking. I think that had a lot to do with it. The networking side, online side, we hit a lot on Facebook. But really, I was pretty blown away. It was pretty special. Give myself a pat on the back.
Okay, and what sets you apart from the other HVAC companies?
I eat, sleep, and breathe HVAC. I don't think some of my competitors are nearly as competitive as me. Anybody that knows me knows I'm extremely competitive. So bottom line, I'm going to outwork them. I will outwork them any day of the week. I will put more sweat and blood into this. I built this from the ground up, and I will not lose in just that competitive nature standpoint. Secondly, I'm a millennial, right? I'm a lazy, live in your basement, instant gratification millennial, right? The stereotype of millennials. Well, that is just a stereotype. There's a lot of great millennials out there. I'm being one of them. And the fact of the matter is the millennials are the new workforce. Boomers are retiring faster than the millennials can replace them in this line of work. And so I have an advantage against my competition in the fact that I am a young millennial business owner, and I can really relate to the workforce and to the employees. And when you can relate in that sense, you have a strong company culture, and strong company culture eventually passes on to the customers. And I have a huge upper hand in that sense.
If you could leave the people of the Walla Walla community with one final word, what would it be?
So part of the reason I agreed to do this little short interview film was because it is awkward. I don't necessarily like being filmed, but I felt that I wanted to get the story out there. And the story being that we are a local, homegrown business, and we started from the ground up. Starting out of a 2-car garage was just a few $1,000s, and growing into a multi-million-dollar company with multiple employees and giving back to the community and getting to this level, I think is a cool story. And if you want to support that story, and you want to support young entrepreneurship, and you want to support the next generation, and most of all, if you want to support the underdog, and we are the underdog, we are going up against companies that have been in business from anywhere from 30 to 70 years. Don't let that scare you. A lot of companies that are that established and have been around that long start to get comfortable, start to get complacent, and start to not keep the customer's best interest in mind. We don't have that luxury, so we have to be perfect in every aspect. So if you want to support the story, give us a call, give us a chance, give us a shot, and you won't be disappointed. And thank you for all the support up to this point, and we look forward to working with you and meeting you in the future.